time is running out for King Charles III, and the future of the British monarchy hangs in the balance. In a startling and deeply serious announcement, Buckingham Palace has confirmed that King Charles, diagnosed with cancer last year, is now facing a complex and rapidly progressing illness. The king himself has entrusted Prince William with more royal duties, signaling a critical shift in power. What does this mean for the monarchy's future? How will William handle the enormous responsibility thrust upon him amid this crisis? Stay with us as we uncover the full story behind this historic turning point. The stakes couldn't be higher. Before we continue, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for updates. The British monarchy, a centuries-old institution symbolizing continuity and tradition, has always been intertwined with the health and well-being of its sovereign. Throughout history, the public gaze has intensely scrutinized the physical and mental state of monarchs, understanding that the fate of a nation often hangs in the balance with the health of its royal leader. Now, in 2025, the world watches with bated breath as an unexpected and deeply concerning chapter unfolds in this ongoing saga. Prince William, the Prince of Wales, has just confirmed distressing news about his father, King Charles III's health, a revelation that has sent ripples of fear and uncertainty throughout the United Kingdom and beyond. At the heart of this breaking news lies a profound reality. Time is running out. This is no vague statement. It is a stark truth that weighs heavily on the monarchy and the public alike. King Charles, who was diagnosed with cancer in early 2024, is now grappling with a health condition described by palace insiders as complex and rapidly progressing. For months, the royal family and Buckingham Palace have maintained a tight-lipped approach, releasing carefully crafted statements that have done little to quell public speculation. Yet now, the veil has been lifted, at least partially, as Prince William steps forward to take on more official duties, a sign that the king's capacity to fulfill his role is diminishing. What does this mean for the monarchy? For the British people who revere the crown? And for the global community that watches every move of this storied institution? These questions are more pressing than ever, as the kingdom faces an uncertain future marked by the frailty of its longest-serving heir to the throne. This video will take you through the layers of this unfolding drama, from the initial diagnosis to the recent delegation of royal duties, from palace announcements to insider accounts, and from public reactions to historical parallels. By the end, you will understand the gravity of the moment and why this is perhaps the most critical juncture in the reign of King Charles III. The story begins with the diagnosis itself. Early in 2024, Buckingham Palace quietly confirmed that King Charles had been diagnosed with cancer. The announcement shocked many, though it was met with an outpouring of support and sympathy. Cancer is, of course, a formidable adversary, but in royal circles, health challenges have been met before with resilience and resolve. However, as months passed, subtle shifts in King Charles's public appearances and official duties hinted at something more serious than originally conveyed. The king's energy appeared diminished, engagements were scaled back, and the presence of Prince William at events increased noticeably. Observers and royal commentators speculated on the nature and severity of the king's illness, but concrete details remained elusive. This silence was intentional. Part of the palace's strategy to protect the king's privacy and maintain a sense of stability. Yet, beneath this calm exterior, there was an undeniable urgency building within the corridors of Buckingham Palace. King Charles himself made a momentous decision to delegate more responsibilities to his son. This is a significant move. The transfer of royal duties from monarch to heir is not undertaken lightly. It signals a clear acknowledgement of the monarch's limitations and a necessary step to ensure the continuity of governance and ceremonial functions. Prince William's assumption of additional duties is both a practical response to the king's health challenges and a symbolic moment for the monarchy. It signals the next phase in the royal transition, a slow but steady passing of the torch. William, once viewed primarily as a figure of the future, is now thrust into the present with a heavier mantle of responsibility. This shift invites reflection on the nature of leadership, duty, and legacy within one of the world's most visible and enduring institutions. Buckingham Palace's official announcement confirming this development marked a turning point. The language used was measured but clear, confirming that the king's health condition was indeed serious enough to necessitate this delegation. Analysts have noted that such announcements are never made lightly and often foreshadow more profound changes to come. The palace's transparency, though limited, serves to prepare the public and international observers for what lies ahead. But how has Prince William responded to this call? Known for his calm demeanor and dedication, William faces not only the practical demands of additional duties but also the emotional toll of seeing his father's health decline. Interviews and public statements reveal a man grappling with grief, responsibility, and the weight of expectation. His relationship with King Charles has always been complex, shaped by years of public scrutiny and personal evolution. Now, as he steps forward in a more pronounced leadership role, William must navigate the delicate balance between familial loyalty and the demands of monarchy. The public reaction has been mixed, steeped in concern, respect, and a measure of anxiety. The British people have long held a special place for King Charles, despite the controversies and challenges that marked his earlier years. His commitment to causes such as environmental conservation and social justice has earned him admiration, making the news of his illness all the more poignant. Yet, with Prince William's rise in prominence, there is also a sense of hope and anticipation. The younger prince embodies a new generation of royal leadership, more modern, more approachable, yet deeply rooted in tradition. Media outlets across the globe have seized on this story, analyzing every word of palace communications, every public appearance by William, and every whisper from palace insiders. Social media platforms are abuzz with speculation, tributes, and expressions of solidarity. The story transcends borders, reflecting the monarchy's enduring global significance. This moment is not without precedent. British history is replete with examples of monarchs facing health crises and the resulting regency arrangements. From Queen Victoria's periods of ill health to King George VI's struggles during wartime, the institution has weathered such storms before. However, the modern media landscape and the high expectations placed on contemporary royals add layers of complexity and pressure unprecedented in earlier times. In this video, we will explore these historical parallels in depth, shedding light on how previous monarchs and their heirs managed similar challenges. We will also consider the broader political implications of King Charles's health condition, examining how government officials and Commonwealth leaders are preparing for potential transitions. The stability of the United Kingdom's constitutional monarchy depends not only on royal family dynamics but also on the seamless cooperation of political institutions. At the heart of this narrative is the human story, the father and son, the aging king, and the rising heir, bound by blood and duty. This story transcends headlines and royal protocol. It touches on universal themes of mortality, legacy, and the passage of time. Prince William's confirmation of his father's serious condition is a poignant reminder that behind the grandeur and ceremony, the royal family faces the same vulnerabilities as any family. As we delve deeper into this unfolding story, keep in mind the stakes are immense. The monarchy is not merely a symbol. It is a living institution whose continuity shapes national identity, political stability, and cultural heritage. King Charles's illness and the delegation of duties to Prince William are more than personal family matters. They are events with profound implications for the United Kingdom and the world. In the coming sections, we will unpack every facet of this development with meticulous detail, bringing you expert insights, insider accounts, historical context, and thoughtful analysis. Together, we will understand why this news has ignited a wave of fear and concern, but also why it carries the possibility of renewal and transformation. Stay with us as we navigate the complexities of this historic moment. The story of King Charles's health and Prince William's ascendance is still unfolding, and its full impact remains to be seen. But one thing is clear, the future of the British monarchy is at a crossroads, and the decisions made now will resonate for generations to come. King Charles III's health journey has become one of the most closely watched stories of the 21st century monarchy. When Buckingham Palace quietly revealed in early 2024 that the king had been diagnosed with cancer, it marked a moment of profound significance. Not only for the royal family, but for millions of people around the world who have followed his life and reign with interest, admiration, and at times, controversy. The initial announcement was carefully worded, designed to strike a balance between transparency and privacy. The palace confirmed that King Charles had been diagnosed with a serious health condition, specifying cancer but refraining from releasing extensive details about the type or stage. This measured disclosure reflected a long-standing royal tradition, protect the monarch's dignity and personal space while acknowledging the reality of the situation. From the outset, medical experts and royal watchers speculated on what this diagnosis might mean. Cancer, a disease that affects millions globally, varies widely in prognosis depending on factors such as the kind of cancer, stage at diagnosis, and treatment options. Although the palace kept details sparse, the mention of complexity and progression later on pointed toward a form that was difficult to treat or had advanced beyond early stages. Throughout 2024, King Charles's public appearances were closely scrutinized for clues about his condition. Traditionally, the monarch attends a wide range of ceremonial and diplomatic events, embodying the nation's continuity and presence. However, Charles's schedule began to shift noticeably. He reduced his public engagements, sometimes sending Prince William or other senior royals to represent him. His speeches, when delivered, were often pre-recorded or shorter than usual. Observers noted subtle changes in the king's physical appearance, pallor, visible fatigue, and at times, the assistance of aides during public events. While none of these signs were officially confirmed as related to his cancer diagnosis, they painted a picture of a leader whose health was visibly affected. Behind the scenes, palace insiders reported intense activity. Medical consultations, treatment planning, and family discussions occupied much of the royal household's time and energy. Treatment for cancer in someone of King Charles's age and status is a complex undertaking. It involves balancing aggressive interventions with the monarch's quality of life and public responsibilities. One of the challenges in managing a monarch's illness is the need to maintain a facade of strength and stability. The British monarchy, as a constitutional institution, depends heavily on public perception. Any sign of weakness can provoke speculation, undermine confidence, and fuel political debates about the future of the crown. As a result, the palace's approach was cautious, sharing only what was necessary while managing expectations and maintaining tradition. As months passed, reports began to surface about the nature of King Charles's cancer. While the palace did not officially confirm the specifics, some medical experts and leaked information suggested it might be a form of lymphoma or a similarly aggressive disease. These types of cancers can progress rapidly but are also sometimes responsive to advanced treatments like targeted therapy or immunotherapy. The complexity mentioned in statements likely referred to the need to balance treatment efficacy with side effects, especially given Charles's age. Throughout this period, the king remained focused on his duties to the extent possible. His passion for environmental advocacy, social justice, and charitable work continued to be evident, even as his energy waned. Supporters admired his resilience and commitment, while critics speculated whether it was time for a transition. King Charles's health journey also drew attention to the support systems surrounding him. The royal medical team, composed of top specialists and advisors, worked closely with palace staff to ensure that all medical decisions aligned with the monarch's wishes and the institution's needs. This delicate interplay between personal health and public duty added layers of complexity. In addition to the physical challenges, there were emotional and psychological dimensions. The king's family, including Prince William and other senior royals, faced the emotional strain of witnessing a loved one's illness under the unforgiving spotlight of global attention. Balancing compassion with protocol, privacy with public interest, became an ongoing challenge. Another important aspect was the gradual shift in the king's role. While Charles remained the sovereign, he began delegating more responsibilities to trusted aides and his son, Prince William. This transition was not only a practical response to his health limitations, but also a strategic move to prepare for the future. Public communication during this time was key. Buckingham Palace used official channels, such as press releases and controlled media appearances, to manage the narrative. These communications aimed to reassure the public while preparing them for a possible regency or abdication scenario. However, the palace was careful to avoid speculation or premature announcements, maintaining an atmosphere of cautious optimism. As King Charles's condition evolved, so did the medical approach. Treatment plans were regularly reviewed, with input from a multidisciplinary team. Advances in oncology, including precision medicine and minimally invasive therapies, offered hope but also required careful assessment of risks and benefits. In parallel, the king's personal lifestyle was adjusted to support his health. Reports indicated that he adopted more rest, reduced travel, and focused on activities that provided comfort and fulfillment. His passion projects, such as environmental initiatives, continued but in a scaled-back fashion. The king's health journey also intersected with larger royal events and ceremonies. Decisions about attendance and participation in national occasions became significant indicators of his condition. When Charles missed or limited his presence at major events, it sent strong signals to the public and the media. The growing visibility of Prince William during these occasions further underscored the health challenges facing the king. William's increased involvement not only filled a practical gap but also symbolized the monarchy's resilience and continuity. Internationally, allies and dignitaries expressed concern and support. Messages of goodwill from other heads of state highlighted the global importance of the British monarchy and the empathy felt worldwide for King Charles's struggle. Meanwhile, public opinion polls revealed shifting attitudes toward the monarchy. While many expressed sympathy and loyalty, others questioned the institution's future in light of the king's illness and the changing social landscape. These debates reflected broader conversations about monarchy's role in modern society. Throughout the health journey, privacy remained a paramount concern. The royal family sought to protect the king from intrusive media scrutiny, often taking legal and security measures to shield him and the medical team from unwanted attention. In sum, King Charles III's health journey since his cancer diagnosis in early 2024 has been marked by a delicate balance of transparency, privacy, resilience, and transition. The evolving nature of his illness has forced the monarchy to adapt rapidly, with profound implications for governance, public perception, and the future of the crown. As the king continues to face the challenges of his condition, the world watches with a mixture of hope, anxiety, and respect. The unfolding story is not just about one man's health, but about an institution that has shaped centuries of history. Understanding this journey in detail is crucial to grasping the significance of Prince William's recent confirmation of the king's complex and serious health situation, a confirmation that signals a turning point for the monarchy and the nation alike. As King Charles III's health has become increasingly complex, one of the most significant developments within the British monarchy is the noticeable and purposeful shift of royal duties from father to son. Prince William, the Prince of Wales, has stepped into a more prominent and active role, bearing the weight of responsibilities traditionally reserved for the sovereign. This transfer marks not only a practical adjustment but a profound moment in the monarchy's evolution, signaling the next generation's readiness to lead amid challenging times. Historically, the delegation of royal duties has been a sensitive matter, closely tied to the health and capability of the reigning monarch. Monarchs have occasionally needed to rely on regents or heirs to fulfill official functions, particularly during periods of illness or incapacity. Yet, the process is often gradual, wrapped in formality and carefully managed communications. In King Charles's case, the urgency of his illness has accelerated this natural progression. Prince William's increased involvement has manifested across a broad spectrum of official duties. From state visits to high-profile ceremonies, William has become the face of the monarchy in many contexts. His attendance at meetings with foreign dignitaries, presiding over charitable events, and leading engagements on behalf of his father are all tangible signs of this new reality. Each event is more than a public appearance. It is a demonstration of trust and preparation for the eventual full assumption of the crown. The transition has required William to adapt quickly, both logistically and emotionally. Logistically, he faces a demanding schedule, often managing multiple engagements in a single day. This workload not only tests stamina but also demands a deep understanding of complex political, social, and diplomatic issues. William's prior experience, ranging from military service to charity leadership, has provided a strong foundation, yet the gravity of acting in the monarch's stead adds an unparalleled dimension. Emotionally, the shift is charged with personal significance. William is not only performing public duties, he is stepping up for his father during a time of vulnerability. The emotional toll of witnessing a parent's illness while simultaneously embodying the future leadership of the monarchy cannot be overstated. Observers note moments of visible strain and resolve in William's demeanor, a testament to the difficult balance he must maintain. William's growing responsibilities also place him under increased scrutiny. The public and media keenly watch how he navigates this critical phase, analyzing every word, gesture, and decision. Expectations are high, not only for him to perform competently, but to demonstrate the qualities of a future king: compassion, steadiness, wisdom, and vision. One of the key aspects of William's role expansion is his leadership in environmental and social causes, areas where King Charles has long been passionate. William's continued advocacy in these fields honors his father's legacy while establishing his own voice. His efforts in mental health awareness, climate action, and youth empowerment reflect a modern approach to monarchy, aligning with contemporary values and concerns. The delegation of duties also extends to constitutional and ceremonial functions. William has been seen presiding over official ceremonies, such as Remembrance Day services and parliamentary openings, occasions historically dominated by the monarch. These appearances signal the monarchy's commitment to continuity and respect for tradition even amid change. Behind the scenes, William works closely with palace officials and advisors to prepare for a possible regency or eventual succession. This preparation includes briefings on state matters, diplomatic protocols, and public communication strategies. The role requires mastery of subtle nuances. Knowing when to speak, when to defer, and how to maintain the monarchy's dignity. Prince William's growing responsibilities have also prompted reflection on his personal readiness. Unlike previous heirs who ascended under different circumstances, William's assumption of duties is unfolding in a media-saturated, politically complex era. He must balance the expectations of tradition with the demands of a global audience that values authenticity and transparency. Family dynamics play a role in this transition as well. William's relationship with his father, while historically complex, has matured into mutual respect and shared purpose. Reports suggest that Charles has placed great trust in William's judgment, encouraging him to take on more visible leadership roles. This trust is crucial, as it helps smooth the transition and reassure the public. The public's perception of William's expanded role has been largely positive. Polls indicate growing confidence in his capability to lead and a desire among many for the monarchy to modernize under his eventual reign. His relatable demeanor, combined with a strong sense of duty, resonates with younger generations, helping bridge the gap between tradition and modernity. However, challenges remain. William faces the delicate task of stepping out of his father's shadow while honoring his legacy. The political climate in the United Kingdom, marked by debates about the monarchy's relevance and calls for reform, adds pressure. William must navigate these waters carefully, balancing progress with respect for established norms. In addition, William's personal life intersects with his public duties. His role as a husband and father adds layers of complexity, as he seeks to model a family life that reflects both royal tradition and contemporary values. This balance is closely watched by the public, who see in William a reflection of the monarchy's future. The increased delegation of duties has also had practical implications for royal staff and security. The palace has restructured teams to support William's demanding schedule, ensuring seamless coordination across engagements. Security measures have intensified, reflecting the heightened profile and risks associated with his role. Internationally, William's expanded presence has been welcomed by allies and foreign leaders. His diplomatic skills and approachable demeanor have strengthened the monarchy's global image during a period of uncertainty. State visits and international meetings have offered opportunities to reaffirm ties and promote British interests under his leadership. Despite these advancements, William remains acutely aware that his father's health and reign continue to shape the monarchy's trajectory. He frequently pays tribute to King Charles in speeches and interviews, emphasizing continuity and loyalty. This public acknowledgement reinforces the image of a united royal family facing challenges together. The transition is also a story of preparation for the inevitable. While there is hope for King Charles's recovery and return to fuller duties, the reality of his illness requires that William be ready to assume the crown whenever necessary. This readiness involves not only personal growth but also engagement with constitutional processes that govern the succession. In this regard, William's expanded responsibilities serve as a form of apprenticeship. By handling increasingly complex duties, he gains practical experience and public visibility, essential components for a smooth accession. His development is watched not only by the British public but also by constitutional experts and royal commentators worldwide. The current situation also raises questions about the role of the monarchy in the 21st century. William's leadership style, approach to tradition, and vision for the future will inevitably influence the institution's evolution. The delegation of duties amid King Charles's illness is a turning point that accelerates discussions about monarchy's place in a rapidly changing world. In sum, Prince William's growing responsibilities reflect a monarchy in transition, challenged by the serious health condition of its sovereign but buoyed by the readiness of its heir. William embodies both the continuity of a storied lineage and the promise of renewal. His journey from prince to acting monarch, while complex and emotionally charged, is unfolding with a sense of duty, determination, and resilience. As the king entrusts his son with more duties, the monarchy faces its future head-on. This delegation is not merely a transfer of tasks. It is a profound reshaping of leadership in a historic institution. For Prince William, the path ahead is both a great honor and an immense challenge. A challenge he appears determined to meet with strength and grace. The confirmation of King Charles III's health condition and the delegation of duties to Prince William was formalized through an official announcement from Buckingham Palace. A moment of profound significance that sent shockwaves through royal watchers and the global public alike. In the realm of royal communications, every word is carefully chosen, every phrase meticulously crafted, making such announcements far more than mere statements. They are strategic instruments that shape public perception, reassure supporters, and prepare the nation for what lies ahead. The announcement was released with a tone of solemnity and measured transparency, signaling a turning point in the reign of King Charles. It acknowledged the king's serious health challenges while emphasizing the continuity of royal functions through the increasing role of Prince William. This delicate balance between honesty and optimism is a hallmark of palace communications, especially during moments of vulnerability. The language used in the statement was notably precise. Phrases like "due to the progression of His Majesty's illness" and "delegation of certain official duties" conveyed a sense of gravity without revealing exhaustive medical details. This approach respects the king's privacy while acknowledging the undeniable impact of his health on his ability to perform his duties. The announcement also served a critical constitutional purpose. By publicly affirming that Prince William is undertaking more responsibilities, it signaled to governmental bodies, Commonwealth nations, and international allies that the monarchy remains stable and functional despite the king's illness. Such clarity is essential to prevent uncertainty or speculation that could destabilize political and diplomatic relations. Historically, royal announcements regarding health have ranged from vague to explicit, depending on the circumstances and the era. In the digital age, with 24-hour news cycles and instant global communication, the stakes for transparency have risen significantly. Buckingham Palace's statement reflects a modern understanding of this reality, blending tradition with the necessity of public accountability. The announcement was also a message to the British public, whose trust and support are vital to the monarchy's survival. By openly acknowledging the king's health struggles, the palace sought to foster empathy and solidarity, inviting the nation to unite behind its sovereign and heir. This call for unity is especially important during times of uncertainty and transition. Media analysts have closely examined the timing and content of the announcement. Its release followed weeks of speculation and rising public concern, suggesting that the palace recognized the need to address the situation directly to maintain control of the narrative. The decision to confirm the delegation of duties rather than details of the illness itself was strategic, balancing transparency with discretion. The announcement also implicitly prepared the public for the possibility of further changes, including a regency arrangement or eventual succession. Although the palace stopped short of confirming such outcomes, the language used was open enough to signal that contingency plans are in place, reassuring both the public and political institutions. Reactions to the announcement varied widely. Supporters praised the palace's candor and the resilience of both King Charles and Prince William. Critics, however, used the news to reignite debates about the monarchy's relevance and calls for reform. This polarized response underscores the monarchy's complex place in contemporary British society. The announcement further clarified the practical implications of the delegation. Prince William would be representing the king at an increasing number of official engagements, handling diplomatic communications, and overseeing key charitable initiatives. This clarification helped manage expectations and delineate the evolving roles within the royal family. Behind the scenes, the announcement was the result of extensive consultation among royal advisors, medical experts, and government officials. Coordinating the messaging to align with medical realities, constitutional requirements, and public relations considerations required careful planning and diplomacy. The tone of the announcement also sought to humanize the king, reminding the public that he is not only a sovereign but a father, husband, and individual facing serious health challenges. This humanization is a powerful tool in building empathy and sustaining the monarchy's emotional connection with the people. In addition, the announcement served as a framework for future communications. By setting a precedent for openness about the king's health and Prince William's duties, it established expectations for ongoing updates and transparency. This approach contrasts with past eras when royal health issues were often shrouded in secrecy. The timing of the announcement coincided with key royal events and political developments, adding layers of significance. The palace carefully coordinated its release to avoid overshadowing other national matters while ensuring that the news received the attention it warranted. Internationally, the announcement was welcomed by allied nations and Commonwealth members, who recognized the importance of clear communication regarding the monarchy's status. Diplomatic channels swiftly acknowledged Prince William's increased role, facilitating continuity in state relationships. Public communications experts highlight the announcement as a case study in crisis management and institutional transparency. The palace's ability to convey serious news while maintaining dignity and hope is a delicate balancing act that many organizations seek to emulate. The announcement also influenced the tone and content of subsequent royal appearances and engagements. Prince William's increased visibility following the statement reinforced the message of a monarchy adapting to its circumstances with strength and continuity. In summary, Buckingham Palace's official announcement regarding King Charles III's health and the delegation of duties to Prince William was a carefully calibrated message of gravity, continuity, and hope. It acknowledged the serious challenges faced by the king, reassured the public and political institutions, and set the stage for a historic transition within the British monarchy. This announcement marks a decisive turning point, one that will shape the narrative of the monarchy for years to come. Behind the polished facade of Buckingham Palace, where history and ceremony blend seamlessly, a quieter, more intense story has been unfolding, one shaped by whispered conversations, guarded disclosures, and the ever-present tension between tradition and the stark realities of King Charles III's health. Insider reports and palace sources have become invaluable in piecing together a fuller picture of the situation, providing a rare glimpse into the inner workings of a monarchy navigating uncharted waters. Royal insiders describe a palace atmosphere marked by both urgency and resolve. While public statements have remained measured, behind closed doors, the gravity of King Charles's illness has catalyzed significant changes in routines, responsibilities, and family dynamics. Staff members, from senior aides to medical personnel, are reportedly operating with heightened alertness, aware that they are part of a historic transition in real time. One of the most consistent themes emerging from insider accounts is the king's determination to maintain dignity and control over his role despite his health challenges. Sources speak of Charles's insistence on remaining involved in key decisions and his active participation in discussions about how best to delegate duties without compromising the monarchy's integrity. Palace insiders also reveal that Prince William has stepped into a dual role, not only as the public face of the monarchy during his father's illness, but also as a key confidant and advisor behind the scenes. William is described as deeply engaged in strategy sessions, closely monitoring both domestic affairs and international relations to ensure a seamless operation. The relationship between the king and his son, long a subject of public interest and sometimes speculation, appears to have grown stronger in recent months. Insiders report moments of private encouragement and collaboration, with Charles entrusting William with increasing authority and responsibility. This evolving dynamic reflects a shared understanding of the stakes involved and a united front in the face of adversity. Sources also highlight the significant role played by Queen Camilla, who has been a steadfast support to the king throughout his illness. Her presence has reportedly provided emotional strength and continuity within the royal household. Camilla's involvement in managing palace affairs and supporting Prince William's expanding duties has been quietly but crucially acknowledged by those close to the family. Beyond the immediate family, the palace medical team is a central figure in this narrative. Highly skilled and discreet, the physicians and specialists caring for King Charles operate under intense pressure. Insider reports emphasize the delicate balance they maintain, providing cutting-edge treatment while respecting the king's wishes and the royal family's privacy. The medical team's expertise extends beyond physical health to include psychological and emotional support, recognizing the multifaceted challenges posed by such a high-profile illness. Their role in advising on the king's capacity to fulfill his duties has been pivotal in shaping decisions about delegation and public appearances. Palace staff, from communications officers to security personnel, have adapted rapidly to the evolving circumstances. Insider accounts describe increased coordination and rehearsals to prepare for scenarios such as regency arrangements or the king's temporary incapacity. These preparations are conducted with utmost discretion to avoid public alarm while ensuring readiness. The role of palace communications has come under scrutiny as well. Insiders reveal that messaging strategies are regularly reviewed and updated to reflect new developments. The goal is to maintain a consistent narrative that balances transparency with respect for privacy, a challenging task in an era of pervasive media scrutiny. Tensions have occasionally surfaced among palace officials regarding the pace and extent of information release. Some advocates for greater openness argue that the public deserves fuller details to foster trust, while others caution that excessive disclosure could jeopardize the king's dignity and the institution's stability. These debates reflect broader tensions between tradition and modern expectations. Insider reports also shed light on the emotional atmosphere within the palace. While professionalism remains paramount, those working closely with the royal family acknowledge moments of vulnerability and fatigue. The weight of history, duty, and public expectation creates an environment where personal feelings are often subordinated to institutional needs. A particularly poignant aspect revealed by sources is the impact of the king's illness on palace routines and traditions. Ceremonial events have been adjusted, with some scaled back or modified to accommodate the king's condition. These changes, while subtle to the public eye, represent significant shifts within a highly ritualized institution. Security arrangements have likewise intensified. Insider accounts detail heightened vigilance around the king and key family members, reflecting concerns not only about health, but also about potential risks associated with high-profile vulnerability. These measures are coordinated closely with national security agencies and remain largely unseen by the public. The interplay between the royal family and government officials forms another critical element of insider reports. Palace sources describe frequent consultations with the prime minister and senior ministers to ensure alignment on public messaging, constitutional matters, and contingency planning. This collaboration is essential to maintaining national stability during uncertain times. Within the palace, the atmosphere is a blend of solemnity and steadfast commitment. Insiders portray a staff united by loyalty to the king and dedication to preserving the monarchy's legacy. This collective resolve is a key factor in managing the crisis with professionalism and care. The media's role, both inside and outside the palace, is a constant concern. Insider reports express frustration with leaks and unauthorized disclosures, which complicate efforts to control the narrative. Efforts to identify and manage sources of unofficial information are ongoing, highlighting the challenges of operating in a digital age. Amid these pressures, personal moments between family members have been guarded but meaningful. Sources hint at private gatherings and quiet reflections, moments where the king's health and the family's future are discussed away from the public eye. These glimpses humanize the often mythologized figures at the heart of the monarchy. Insider accounts also emphasize the king's enduring sense of duty. Despite physical limitations, Charles is reported to engage with policy issues and royal initiatives with unwavering focus. His commitment inspires those around him and reinforces the monarchy's resilience. Finally, these insider reports underscore the complexity of navigating a royal health crisis in the 21st century. The need to balance transparency, privacy, tradition, and modern expectations creates a multifaceted challenge for the palace. The evolving story of King Charles's illness and Prince William's ascendance is being shaped not only by public events, but by these quieter, critical moments behind palace walls. The announcement of King Charles III's serious health condition and the subsequent confirmation of Prince William's growing responsibilities have unleashed a wave of public and media reaction that underscores the monarchy's immense cultural significance and the emotional connection millions feel toward the royal family. Across the United Kingdom and around the world, this news has sparked a spectrum of responses, from heartfelt sympathy to heated debate, illuminating not only the public's reverence for tradition, but also the evolving attitudes toward monarchy in the modern age. In the immediate aftermath of Buckingham Palace's announcement, British news outlets dedicated extensive coverage to the king's health and the implications of his delegation of duties to Prince William. Major newspapers and broadcasters framed the story with a mixture of solemn respect and analytical depth, acknowledging the gravity of the situation while exploring what it means for the future of the monarchy. Headlines ranged from cautious optimism to sober recognition of the challenges ahead. Social media platforms exploded with commentary, with thousands of individuals sharing messages of support for King Charles and Prince William. Public figures, celebrities, and political leaders joined the chorus, expressing hope for the king's recovery and admiration for William's willingness to step into a larger role. Hashtags related to the king's health trended, reflecting widespread public engagement. However, the reaction was not universally supportive. Critics of the monarchy used the occasion to question the institution's relevance and sustainability, pointing to the king's illness as a symbol of an aging establishment out of step with contemporary values. Opinion pieces and online debates highlighted calls for republicanism, reform, or a reimagining of the monarchy's role in British society. Polling data collected in the weeks following the announcement revealed a nuanced picture. While a majority of the British public expressed sympathy and loyalty toward King Charles, there was also a noticeable increase in skepticism about the monarchy's future viability. Younger demographics, in particular, showed less attachment to royal traditions, signaling a generational divide that will influence the monarchy's trajectory. Public vigils and expressions of solidarity emerged in cities across the UK. Citizens laid flowers, left heartfelt notes, and gathered in public spaces to reflect on the king's health. These spontaneous displays underscored the emotional resonance of the news and the monarchy's deep-rooted place in national identity. The media's role in shaping public reaction has been critical. Coverage has ranged from respectful reporting to sensational speculation, highlighting the tension between responsible journalism and the appetite for dramatic narratives. The proliferation of rumors and unverified reports has sometimes complicated public understanding and fueled anxiety. International media outlets echoed the coverage, emphasizing the global importance of the British monarchy. Diplomatic correspondents analyzed how King Charles's health and William's rise could impact international relations and Commonwealth ties. The story was framed not only as a British matter but as an event of worldwide significance. Public discussions have also focused on Prince William's evolving role. Many view him as a symbol of hope and renewal, a younger leader ready to guide the monarchy through turbulent times. His popularity has surged, bolstered by his measured handling of recent responsibilities and his connection with diverse audiences. Conversely, some commentators have raised concerns about the pressures William faces. The weight of public expectation, coupled with the personal challenges of his father's illness, creates a complex and demanding environment. Media narratives have oscillated between praise and scrutiny, reflecting the high stakes involved. Social media has been a double-edged sword in this context. While it provides a platform for support and connection, it also amplifies misinformation, conspiracy theories, and hostile commentary. The royal family's communications team has actively worked to counter false reports and manage the online narrative, recognizing the impact of digital discourse on public sentiment. The public reaction also reveals deeper cultural and historical themes. The British monarchy is not merely a political institution. It is a repository of national memory, identity, and symbolism. The king's illness touches on collective fears of change, loss, and the passage of time. For many, it is a moment of mourning and reflection. Religious institutions and community leaders have contributed to the public response, offering prayers and messages of comfort. The Church of England, closely tied to the monarchy, emphasized themes of hope, resilience, and service in its communications, helping to frame the situation within a spiritual context. Educational and cultural organizations have used the moment to engage the public in conversations about the monarchy's role in history. Exhibitions, lectures, and media programs have explored King Charles's reign, his health journey, and the significance of Prince William's growing responsibilities, fostering informed dialogue. Public opinion has also been influenced by the personal stories shared by those who have experienced illness and caregiving. These narratives have fostered empathy and a deeper understanding of the challenges faced by the king and his family, humanizing the royal experience. The reaction has extended into the business and tourism sectors, where the monarchy plays a significant role. Analysts have considered how changes in leadership might affect economic factors such as royal patronage, state visits, and heritage tourism, highlighting the monarchy's multifaceted influence. Political leaders have generally expressed cautious support, emphasizing the importance of constitutional stability and continuity. Statements from the Prime Minister and other officials have balanced respect for the king's privacy with recognition of the monarchy's public role, underscoring the delicate interplay between tradition and governance. The public reaction also includes a sense of anticipation and uncertainty. Many wonder what the future holds for the monarchy, how Prince William will shape his reign, and what changes might emerge. This atmosphere of expectancy fuels ongoing media coverage and public discourse. Finally, the public and media reaction is a testament to the enduring power of the monarchy as an institution that transcends politics and reflects the nation's collective identity. The response to King Charles III's health challenges reveals both the strengths and vulnerabilities of this ancient institution, highlighting its capacity to inspire, unite, and sometimes divide. The British monarchy today stands at a crossroads, shaped by centuries of tradition yet challenged by a rapidly evolving social, political, and cultural landscape. King Charles III's health struggles and Prince William's increasing responsibilities have brought these tensions into sharp focus, forcing a public reckoning with the monarchy's present role and its uncertain future. At its core, the monarchy functions as a constitutional institution designed to provide continuity, stability, and a unifying symbol for the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth. It operates within a framework where real political power is limited, yet its influence permeates national identity, diplomacy, and culture. This balance between ceremonial presence and soft power has allowed the monarchy to adapt through centuries of change. Today, however, the institution faces unprecedented scrutiny. Critics question its relevance in a modern democratic society, while supporters emphasize its historical significance and capacity for renewal. The health of King Charles III has amplified these debates, spotlighting the monarchy's resilience, but also its vulnerabilities. King Charles himself has been a figure of both admiration and controversy throughout his public life. His long-standing commitment to environmental causes, architecture, and social issues has positioned him as a modernizing force, yet his earlier years attracted intense media scrutiny. His reign has been characterized by efforts to balance tradition with the demands of a 21st-century audience. Prince William's emergence as a central figure amid his father's illness signals an opportunity for generational change. William embodies a blend of royal heritage and contemporary values, appealing to a broader and younger demographic. His approach to leadership reflects a nuanced understanding of the monarchy's need to engage more openly with the public while maintaining dignity and respect for protocol. The future of the monarchy will likely hinge on its ability to evolve in ways that resonate with contemporary society. This includes embracing transparency, diversity, and social relevance without eroding the core values and traditions that define the institution. The transition from King Charles to Prince William offers a pivotal moment to redefine these boundaries. Constitutionally, the monarchy's role remains stable but symbolic. The sovereign serves as the head of state, the supreme governor of the Church of England, and a key figure in state ceremonies. These functions are integral to national life, but require little direct intervention in government affairs. The monarchy's power is thus primarily moral and cultural. In this context, the health challenges faced by King Charles and the delegation of duties to Prince William emphasize the practical necessity of continuity. Whether through regency or eventual accession, the institution must ensure that its public functions are fulfilled seamlessly. This requires careful coordination between the royal family, government, and constitutional bodies. Public expectations of the monarchy have shifted considerably. The demand for openness and accountability contrasts with the traditional culture of privacy and discretion. Balancing these competing demands will shape the institution's legitimacy in the eyes of future generations. The Commonwealth realm adds another layer of complexity. The monarchy serves as a unifying figurehead across diverse nations, each with its own political and cultural context. Changes in the monarchy's leadership affect not only the United Kingdom, but also the broader Commonwealth community, which looks to the crown for symbolic cohesion. The evolving geopolitical landscape further complicates the monarchy's role. Diplomatic engagements, trade relationships, and international alliances are influenced by the monarchy's stature and visibility. Prince William's expanding diplomatic responsibilities reflect this dynamic, as he engages with global leaders and promotes British interests abroad. Technological advancements and social media have transformed how the monarchy communicates and interacts with the public. Real-time information flows demand rapid response and adaptation. The royal family's ability to harness these tools effectively will influence its future relevance and public support. Economic considerations also play a role. The monarchy contributes to tourism, cultural industries, and charitable activities. Its financial arrangements, including public funding and private estates, are subjects of ongoing public interest and debate. Sustainability and transparency in these areas will be critical for maintaining support. Societal changes, including shifting demographics and cultural diversity, challenge the monarchy to reflect the values and experiences of contemporary Britain. Initiatives promoting inclusion and representation signal efforts to align the institution with a broader spectrum of society. The personal qualities of future monarchs will profoundly affect the institution's trajectory. Prince William's character, values, and leadership style will shape public perceptions and the monarchy's ability to inspire loyalty. His capacity to connect authentically while respecting tradition will be a defining factor. Historical precedents provide guidance but also highlight the uniqueness of the current moment. Previous transitions of power have tested the monarchy's adaptability, yet the convergence of health challenges, media scrutiny, and social change in the present era creates distinct pressures. The monarchy's cultural significance endures through art, literature, and public ceremonies that celebrate national identity. These expressions foster a sense of continuity and belonging, reinforcing the crown's symbolic power even amid transformation. Education and public engagement initiatives seek to deepen understanding of the monarchy's history and contemporary role. These efforts promote informed discourse and foster connection between the institution and citizens. In conclusion, the role of the monarchy today is multifaceted, anchored in history yet compelled to evolve. King Charles III's health challenges and Prince William's expanding duties have crystallized a moment of transformation. The future of the British monarchy will depend on its capacity to balance tradition with innovation, maintain stability amid change, and resonate authentically with the public it serves. Prince William's emergence as a central figure in the British monarchy amid King Charles III's health challenges has brought with it an increased spotlight on his personal reflections and public statements. As he takes on more official duties, William's words and demeanor offer insight into the emotional and psychological landscape he navigates, a realm shaped by the weight of legacy, the pressures of leadership, and the intimate realities of family illness. In recent months, William has carefully crafted his public communications to strike a balance between transparency and discretion. His statements acknowledge the seriousness of his father's condition while emphasizing commitment to duty and continuity. This approach reflects a mature understanding of his role as heir apparent, as well as sensitivity to the public's emotional investment in the monarchy. One recurring theme in William's reflections is the profound sense of responsibility he feels. He has spoken openly about the honor and challenge of stepping into a larger role during such a pivotal time. This sense of duty is intertwined with personal affection and concern for his father, creating a complex emotional dynamic that resonates deeply with the public. William's public appearances often convey a measured solemnity, tempered with moments of warmth and hope. His speeches acknowledge the support of the nation, the dedication of the royal family, and the enduring strength of the monarchy. These messages are crafted to reassure while fostering a sense of shared experience and resilience. In interviews and public addresses, William has occasionally touched on the impact of the king's illness on his own life. He has referenced the emotional challenges of witnessing a parent's decline while maintaining composure in the public eye. These admissions humanize the prince, breaking down barriers between royal tradition and everyday realities. William's reflections also reveal his evolving vision for the monarchy. He has expressed commitment to modernizing the institution while respecting its historical foundations. This vision encompasses greater openness, engagement with diverse communities, and responsiveness to contemporary social issues. Throughout his public statements, William has paid tribute to King Charles's dedication and leadership. He acknowledges the legacy his father has built and the foundation it provides for the future. This respect reinforces the narrative of continuity and shared purpose within the royal family. William's comments have often emphasized themes of unity and service. He calls upon the nation to come together during this period of uncertainty, highlighting the monarchy's role as a symbol of national cohesion. His words encourage collective strength and empathy. The prince's use of language is carefully considered. He employs clear, accessible terms that resonate with a broad audience, avoiding royal jargon or overly formal phrasing. This communication style enhances his relatability and broadens his appeal. Public reactions to William's reflections have been largely positive. Many admire his openness and composure, viewing him as a reassuring presence amid turbulent times. His ability to convey both strength and vulnerability has deepened public affection and trust. However, William also faces challenges in managing expectations. The public anticipates a leader who can uphold tradition while innovating, a balance that requires political savvy and emotional intelligence. His statements often reflect awareness of these pressures and a commitment to meeting them. William's reflections extend beyond formal statements to his interactions with the public. His visits to hospitals, community centers, and charitable organizations offer opportunities for personal connection and candid conversations. These encounters contribute to the narrative of a prince attuned to the needs and hopes of the people. Behind the scenes, William's personal reflections are shaped by his family relationships. Close aides and confidants describe him as deeply devoted to his wife and children, finding strength and grounding in his role as a husband and father. This personal dimension informs his public persona and leadership style. William has also spoken about the influence of his late mother, Princess Diana, on his values and approach to public service. He often references her legacy of compassion and engagement, framing his own journey as a continuation of her work and ideals. The prince's reflections reveal a man conscious of history yet focused on the future. He acknowledges the challenges faced by previous monarchs and heirs, drawing lessons from the past to guide his path forward. This historical awareness underpins his strategic thinking. In addition, William's public statements demonstrate an understanding of the monarchy's role in a diverse, multicultural society. He emphasizes inclusivity and the importance of reflecting the country's changing demographics in royal initiatives and outreach. Mental health has become a key focus in William's reflections. He has championed awareness campaigns and spoken candidly about the importance of support and resilience. This focus resonates with his generation and reinforces the monarchy's relevance on contemporary issues. William's reflections also address the role of technology and media in shaping public perceptions. He acknowledges the challenges and opportunities presented by the digital age, advocating for transparency balanced with privacy. Throughout his public statements, William conveys a message of hope and continuity. He reassures the nation that the monarchy will endure and adapt, guided by a commitment to service and connection. In conclusion, Prince William's personal reflections and public statements offer a window into the emotional depth and leadership qualities that define his current role. His words balance respect for his father's legacy with a clear vision for the future, providing reassurance and, throughout British history, monarchs have faced serious health challenges that tested not only their personal resilience, but also the stability of the realm. These moments of vulnerability have often led to constitutional questions, shifts in power, and the necessity for regency or temporary delegation of duties. Understanding these historical precedents provides valuable context for the current situation surrounding King Charles III's health and Prince William's expanding role. One of the earliest notable instances is the reign of King George III, who suffered from recurring episodes of mental illness during the late 18th and early 19th centuries. His condition, believed by modern historians to be porphyria or another neurological disorder, led to periods where he was incapable of ruling effectively. In response, Parliament passed the Regency Act of 1811, appointing his son, the future George IV, as Prince Regent. This arrangement allowed governance to continue despite the king's incapacity, setting a constitutional precedent for regency in cases of illness. The regency period during George III's illness also illuminated tensions between the monarchy and government, as well as public attitudes toward royal authority. While the regency maintained continuity, it fueled political debates about power distribution and the monarchy's role, issues still relevant today. Another significant example is Queen Victoria, who faced her own health challenges later in life, including episodes of depression and declining mobility. Though not incapacitated to the degree of needing a formal regency, her illness affected public engagements and required adjustments to royal protocols. Victoria's prolonged reign was marked by a careful balancing of personal health and public duty, illustrating the monarchy's adaptability. King Edward VII, Victoria's son, also faced health concerns toward the end of his reign, including heart problems. His declining health prompted his son, George V, to take on more responsibilities, effectively preparing him for the throne. This transition period emphasized the importance of grooming heirs and ensuring smooth successions amid health challenges. The most recent and highly publicized precedent occurred during the reign of King George VI, father of Queen Elizabeth II. George VI faced severe health problems, including lung cancer, in the late 1940s and early 1950s. His illness coincided with a critical period in British history as the nation recovered from World War II and underwent social transformation. Despite his health struggles, George VI remained dedicated to his role until his death in 1952. His experience underscored the monarchy's symbolic importance in times of national crisis and the personal sacrifices involved. In modern times, the health of Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, husband of Queen Elizabeth II, drew significant public attention. Though not a monarch, Philip's various hospitalizations and health concerns highlighted evolving public expectations of transparency and the role of medical privacy within the royal family. These historical examples collectively reveal patterns of resilience, adaptation, and constitutional innovation in response to royal health crises. They also highlight the evolving relationship between the monarchy, government, and public opinion. Constitutional mechanisms such as Regency Acts and succession protocols have been developed to address the challenges posed by incapacitated monarchs. These legal frameworks ensure continuity of governance while respecting the sovereignty of the monarch. Understanding these mechanisms is essential in interpreting the current delegation of duties from King Charles III to Prince William. The monarchy's ability to maintain legitimacy during health crises depends heavily on public trust and perception. Historical precedents show that transparent communication, careful management of public appearances, and clear succession planning are critical components of sustaining this trust. Moreover, the personal qualities of heirs who assume responsibilities during such times significantly influence the monarchy's stability. The effectiveness of regents or acting monarchs in navigating political, social, and diplomatic arenas can either reinforce or undermine the institution. Public reaction to health crises of monarchs has varied over time, shaped by cultural norms, media landscapes, and political contexts. While earlier eras emphasized deference and discretion, the modern age demands greater openness and engagement, reflecting shifts in societal values. The historical context also illustrates the tension between tradition and modernization within the monarchy. Health crises often act as catalysts for change, prompting reconsideration of royal roles, protocols, and public engagement strategies. In comparing these precedents to the current situation, King Charles III's illness and Prince William's increasing duties fit within a long tradition of monarchs facing personal health challenges while ensuring institutional continuity. However, the modern media environment and contemporary societal expectations introduce unique pressures and opportunities. The current delegation of duties is reminiscent of regency arrangements but is marked by a gradual and strategic transition rather than abrupt transfer of power.